Estamos aqui em Londres, na Brick Lane, na East London, com Anthony Jacquin. Nesse vídeo vai continuar dando dicas de auto-hipnose, mas depois da vinheta. Well, you were at the last video talking about self-hypnosis advice and the change of perspective.
Sure.
So you can keep on talking to our audience about.
Okay. Well, another thing that's really got my interest at the moment in that regard, and talking about a change in perspective, is once you kind of escape from this idea of state and that being a necessity for change, then another way to kind of look at it is to start to ask, who are these changes for? It's kind of the ultimate question, but who am I is the question you need to be asking yourself. And you'll see that aspects of our problem, there's always a portion of that when you think about it that's got something to do with the past, a past that's gone. If I said to you, do you know what you were thinking this time yesterday? Of course not. I mean, do you know what you were thinking 7 minutes ago? Do you know what you'll be thinking 3 thoughts from now? Of course not. You just sit and wait. So there's a portion of it that's about thought that's completely gone. We don't need to keep bowing down to that or holding it up as special and sacred. We can just portion it off. And when you think about that thing, there's an aspect of it that's about the future, to which you know nothing about. You don't know your next thought. You don't know your next feeling. And yet you conjure up this imagined, anticipated scenario which sets things off for the body. So again, a technique for me is to just sit quietly, let things come up with regard to a problem from that kind of observer's position, move them off to one side, move the future off to one side. Then look again and you'll see that more stuff comes up, some of which you are creating, you're meaning making. This means that. That says that about me. That probably means this will happen that way. Don't create. Let's put this to one side. We want to analyze, especially if you know about this stuff. Well, I need, what does this mean? Again, it's the same kind of thing. Meaning making. Let's put this to one side. Let's just relax. Recognize. Not just are your problems and your personal reality kind of malleable and plastic. Your sense of self is also likely to be trapped by a thought of who you are, by a feeling that you carry around, neither of which are you. So I think one of the most therapeutic things that people can be doing, to be honest, is to embark on that kind of search. And I guess traditionally it is called a spiritual search. But what I mean is, I'm not a hugely religious person, anything like that. I'm talking about your sense of self, your sense of being. When you start to examine it, when you start to try to locate it, it can't be found. And that leads quite naturally to a very refreshing, expansive, spacious sense of who you are, where you're not lacking anything. You feel happy, you don't feel agitated, you feel at peace, and you feel connected with the people around you. So I believe that's the biggest, and not just the greatest tool, but it's where this points, it's where this leads, is eventually you turn around and you ask yourself that question.
And the thing is, if we needed really a state, the induction wouldn't start anyway. Because if I needed the state to make the suggestion to happen, the induction wouldn't happen, nothing would happen, because
that's a suggestion too, indeed.
Yes,
indeed.
If trance, if we need something magical like trance, so we keep on getting back to Milton or Erickson, isn't it?
Yeah, and further and further back. I mean, even Erickson, it was still framed as a special state where receptiveness increases. But often when you see his work, there's no sign of the state.
Yes.
It's a choice that you have. It's not that I would never say or use the terms trance or state or sleep. I'm quite happy to use those terms when I want that to be the result. But I accept wholeheartedly that that is a suggested result. Trance, sleep and deeper, to me, is no different than magnets, lighter and stuck. It's just more suggestions. And with regard to ourselves, what are the suggestions you're giving yourself habitually? What are the stories that are supporting the myth of your personal reality, of who you are? If you challenge those stories, you'll see they have no more substance than fairy stories. They're the same. So you can let go of that stuff and you can feel a sense of freedom that you may not have experienced before. That's really what I'm interested in these days. We have a game here called Whack-a-Mole, like in a thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we treat our problems like that. We just keep going round and round and round, and there is a way of stepping back from all of that. Yeah.
I'd like to thank you a lot for this.
Thank you.
Gostou do vídeo? Clique em gostei, inscreva-se no canal, compartilhe com seus amigos e até a próxima.